All right, went out to the shed and got some of my dried up maple and walnuts. Been laying there for about almost 3 years. Not quite, but almost. And I had resawed that from logs, and then it's been stickered out there. I had that in a tape pile where I knew it had dried at least a year, so it's been there for a year and a half or so, 2 years. Anyway, so I just cut some of them 4-foot boards down and cut them down, cut the warps out of them, and then re-glued them back together into 10 by 20 blanks. And what I'm going to do is try and cut out some chest pieces out of these blanks, and so hopefully I'll be able to get enough chest pieces for a set of carved chests. So their bases are about 1 inch around, and they'll be 3 inches or so tall. So anyway, it'd be kind of a cool little set, and we'll see how that comes out on the old CNC. All right, I'm going to make a box for one of the Royal Rangers, and I've got 4 boards here that are about 10 1/4 by 20, and I'm thinking I'm going to need 4 of them to make this, or at least 3 to make the sides and everything. So we'll see what we get out of it. That's maple and walnut. We'll see how they come together and go from that. All right, there's the top. I'm going to encarve the Royal Ranger logo in there. There's the box, and it's coming together. All right, I've done a little carving. I've been learning some 3D carving. The emblems, all of those stars are different heights in there, and of course the V carving. And this is a box joint that I made out of some maple, some walnut that I've resawed from trees, and it's been stickered in, so it's been in my shed for about 2 years, 2.5 years. And that's kind of what this was taken from. Stuff like that. There's a few scraps of pine on top of that, but most of it's hardwood with the maple. And I've got a lot more of that down in the shed, so it's kind of fun. These boards all come out pretty nice. And anyway, so I'm going to glue these up and see about getting them together. There you go. Okay, all glued up. Got some little blocks in there. Why that happened, I'm still trying to figure that out. When I first made my first cut, I think I had, anyway, it was goof up, but anyway, I fixed it. You'll never see it. But anyway, it's kind of funny how things like that happen. Okay, I'm getting down to the last stages before finishing. I went ahead and put these in here. That'll help just line the box when you're putting it on there and line it up, and that should help for alignment. And there we go. It's fairly sanded. It came out pretty good. Not perfect, but you know, hey, most stuff in homemade garages are not perfect unless you're making 50 of them, and then you pull out the bad ones, and then you get the good ones. So almost every piece of the wood has its blemishes. You know, that's what makes this. This makes this real, and makes it homemade. So, and then of course that side's got the. There's my helper over here. There she is, right there. She's my helper. She's bound and determined to get me to throw that ball or kick it. So let's see if we can kick it. Now out she goes. She will do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She's my buddy. All right, 3D clip art often starts out with just some good vector work where you cut up each one of these pieces, and each one of these segments that are like a different color all broke down into a layer. And so you refine, so each one of these is actually a different element or a component in this emblem. So I can cut these parts out individually, make them all colored things. I can make them big, little, small, whatever size I want to. And also I can make them 3D. And this was one of my first attempts of cutting. This was just basically with a little bit of a router going through there. This is with a Sharpie on a pen, and it was sloppy, so it was loose. And then up in there, and then this was one of my first attempts at cutting 3D, and I'm going, what's going on? Well, there's just a learning curve on it, and after you learn, a little bit, and then you can get a little bit better at it. But this is a 3D. That's that graphic, and then I have I haven't even sanded this yet, so it's that's the only thing I haven't sanded, and of course that's V grooved up here at the top, or V, cut with a V bit, and then this is all carved in at different heights. So each one of these points is at a different height. Your yellows and your browns, and then your blues and your reds and your white. It's all at a different height. So pretty cool. This is maple and walnut, and this is a gift to a young man for helping me do some moving, and I put about as much time in this as he did helping me move, so that works out good. And this is his chest. As far as long as I know, he's been in Royal Ranger, so this is a good thing for him. All right, added some more clamps today. These are some Harbor Freight 3/4 inch pipe clamps. I bought two 60-foot sections of pipe, cut them down to 30 inches each. That allowed me to glue up a 24-inch board, which is just about as wide as I need to go. It's nice sometimes to have the form, the long pieces that are almost 60 inches on a few of them. But for the biggest part, lighter is better. And so I added more of them because I was getting where I really liked these. And so I went with these, and they work out good. Then, of course, got 50 of those things in two different sizes, and then I've invested in the Harbor Freight clamps, and they're handy. And then I got a suitcase full of the little bit bigger clamps up there. So I'm going to do a project there up there. All right. Well, the first board I got out was cut on the CNC, and take them out, kind of look them over as I'm doing it. Sometimes I can mill and cut them out while the CNC's milling them out. These boards have some few defects in it. Here I am getting some V carving done with a V bit, and generally start from the center of the project and start doing that on the logos and stuff. There's some stacked with my wood that I've been cut with my bandsaw sled, getting ready to glue up, see how things fit together, and just looking at all my different pieces and make sure they all fit. You can do a dry fit, make sure that they go together just fine. And at this time, I hadn't really sanded anything. The wood is just air dried, and it goes together pretty quick. Used a bunch of Harbor Freight clamps. They're a very reasonably priced clamp, and as you can see, it takes quite a few of them, probably 12 clamps on that one box. These are some of those boards that have been cut down. They were warped and split, so you cut out the bad parts and come up with some good parts, and then assemble these cool little projects like this. This is a gift box for one of the young men that helped me do some moving, and he asked for a piece of flint for 3 or 4 hours worth of work, so I threw this box together and traded it out to him. It's not perfect. It has some little defects in it, and of course I fixed some of them and glued in. That's one thing cool about wood, is you can fix all kinds of defects and get it going. This is where I put the little keepers on the side so that the box will slip inside the other one. Use a little 23 gauge pin nail to tack them in with a little glue and then clamped them. So it makes it pretty good. There's my little helper. She loves to go out in the shop with me. I use brass screws when I'm laying these down at first, so when my first cuts go down, then I know where they're going to hit. This is some bar clamps, and that's generally about enough to get it all done. Everything's on a dolly, everything's on wheels in the shop. And there I'm putting some coats of lacquer on there. I put like 4 coats on the sides and the bottom, and then about 4 coats on the very top of the emblem from different directions. And I really like that Rust-Oleum spray lacquer. It really works real well. And it goes on easy, dries fast, and it came out real nice. Thanks for watching.